the Hashira, the most powerful demon slayers out there. The 9 pillars of the Demon Slayer organization, each of the pillars having a different breathing style from one another, and each having to battle an upper moon at some point in the series, performing incredible feats of determination, power, speed, and abilities. So it is only natural for people to rank the Hashira in terms of who is the strongest out of them. Today we will be looking over Kyojuro Rengoku, the Flame Hashira, one that I consider to be underrated in the community, some putting him as the weakest or the second weakest Hashira, when I think he should be placed way higher in terms of the rankings. Now, before I get some people instantly disagreeing with me and commenting that Rengoku does not even scale to Akaza at all I ask is for you to at least hear my arguments with consideration before hitting that dislike button. One last thing I want to mention is we will be using both anime and manga feats alike, as the author has made prequel mangas for the Mugen Train movie. Also, the author has massive input in the anime's production, and the official novelization of the series, it directly references events for the movie version of Mugen Train. As a teenager, Rengoku became a demon slayer after training for most of his childhood, and on his first mission he encountered the Flute Demon. Already in his first mission, we see feats of Kyojuro being able to rupture his eardrums before the sound could reach him, displaying speed of sound feats in just his first mission. His battle IQ is also on display, as we see he deduced the effects of what the demon's ability possibly is by just looking at the corpses of the 3 demon slayers he had killed prior to his encounter with Rengoku. Later on, about 2 years before the events of Mugen Train, Kyojuro rises in the ranks of the Demon Slayer Corps and reaches the rank of Kinoe. He is set in place of his father, who has basically abandoned his duties, where he encounters the Lower Moon 2 demon, Haro. Here we see Rengoku perform multiple feats of blocking numerous bullets from handguns, rifles, any gun you can name. Kyojuro probably blocked a bullet from it in this fight, making his speed at least Mach 2 to 3. His durability is also shown during this fight as he tanks numerous explosions and bullets during this fight, to the point where Haro runs out of ammo and has to fuse with his shadows to fight Rengoku. Rengoku is able to defeat the demon by using his esoteric form, Rengoku. Using this form allows his body to swing with all of its might and spirit, and apparently bore into any substance. The drawbacks being that it will take all of his energy for him to use this form, so this isn't something he could just spam on a whim like any projectile player in Super Smash Bros. A couple years passed, and it is clear that he has gotten a lot of experience being a Hashira, and is well respected by all of the Hashira. Before he leaves to go on the Mugen Train mission, he and Shinobu have one last chat. In that, Kyojuro tells Shinobu that he will more than likely be encountering an Upper Moon demon. Shinobu responds by saying, as long as he is there, then everything should turn out okay. Mind you, Shinobu is aware of the demon that is more powerful than her sister. Her sister had even more talent than Shinobu herself, and she still had confidence in Rengoku to beat this demon. When Rengoku gets to the mission, he helps Tanjiro, Zenitsu, and Inosuke fight the Lower Moon demon Enmu. This mission shows how much more powerful he had gotten over the 2 years, as he is able to easily dominate the top of the lower ranks that was enhanced even further by Muzan. Kyojuro's base strikes were able to heavily slow down Enmu's regeneration speed by a large margin. Enmu blames Kyojuro, as even though he took 200 hostages to hinder him, he was able to pin him down at every turn. When the train went off the rails, Rengoku used many of his breathing forms to save 200 passengers. Now we get into Akaza versus Rengoku. There are many people who think Akaza was not trying at all, or Kyojuro was getting low diffed and just not understanding the conditions of the fight. For the point about Akaza not trying, it would not make any sense for him, as the most vital part of Akaza's character is hating on people that he views as weak. So it would be contradictory for Akaza, someone who can literally sense how strong people are, confirmed by himself, Tanjiro, Giyu, and the official guidebooks. Akaza views Rengoku right on the edge to the realm of supremacy, the highest power that you could reach in his eyes. So it wouldn't really make much sense for him to hold back to such an extent where someone isn't even in the same tier of power as him, especially if they are so close to achieving the power that he desires. There are multiple times in the fight where he says and tries to kill Rengoku. As for Rengoku being low diff, it was stated in the guidebooks that he was able to hold his own versus the upper rank. We also see that his base strikes, Rengoku has the attack potency capable of severing Akaza's limbs, and in the official novelization, one of his base strikes would have gojoed him if he had not dodged. We also see a rare feat in the movie version of Rengoku landing a direct hit to Akaza's back, as Akaza is able to sense any attack, The stronger the move, the stronger his compass responds to it and allows him to counter. And the fact that Kyojuro was able to do this is an amazing speed feat. With his breathing forms, the Flame Hashira was able to cause heavy damage to his chest, sever both arms with his first form, bisect his arm with the second form, and countered his Blood Demon Art Disorder with his fifth form. These feats are important as Akaza's body durability scales directly to his neck durability, which if you didn't know, in Demon Slayer, typically the neck is the strongest point of a demon, as that is their most vital spot, which means Rengoku is a direct threat to Akaza if his breathing forms had landed on the demon's vital spot. Especially with his esoteric arc, which was able to not only overpower one of Akaza's most powerful attacks, but was shown to cause extreme pain to the demon. Even when Rengoku is near death and has little strength left, his adrenaline boost isn't the most impressive compared to the other boosts that we have seen throughout the series. However, during the scene where Akaza and Rengoku struggle until dawn, Akaza doesn't mention Rengoku being stronger. Just that his level of strength while having those injuries is insane, implying even more relativity between the two. The difference between these two in the fight is Akaza having the clear advantage of having insane generation speed and unlimited stamina. Meanwhile, Kyojuro does not have those same luxuries and had just used a lot of his breathing forms to save the passengers. Breathing forms, when used repeatedly, can take major toll on humans. Even if you don't want to say he was fatigued on the fight, we clearly see fatigue build during their encounter. Some statements for the strength of Rengoku. Obanai and Tengen couldn't believe that Rengoku could lose to an Upper Moon. Tengen admits that Rengoku is more powerful than he is. Tanjiro, not once but twice, refers to Kyojuro as the strongest person he had met up until that point. However, Tanjiro could be inaccurate as he really couldn't tell what was happening for most of the Akaza and Rengoku fight. Now, for how these feats apply to cross-verse scaling, Kyojuro would scale above the likes of Muichiro. I'll have to make a full video discussing the calcs and the speed of the verse, but he should have FTL speeds based off of that. For attack potency, he scales to Akaza, who is much stronger and much durable than Gyotaro, who has been calculated anywhere from multi-city block to town level. With how much stronger upper 3 level characters are than upper 6, I could maybe see the argument for town level plus. With all this being said, I may make more videos like this in the future, but for now, we're going to place Rengoku in the 4th spot or 5th spot. There's going to be interchangeable spots, but if I decide to make this a series, I'll keep updating you, say which characters I believe can be interchangeable and which I believe are pretty much good where they're at in terms of the rankings for Hashira. And thank you everyone for checking this incredibly long, boring lecture out. Have a nice day. Also like it, subscribe, thanks! Thank you!